We are live. We are live. Good morning, YouTube. It is your boy Zulu Gutter. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and finally, bringing this stream after viewing the movie, after it's been in play for a couple weeks. Didn't want to get too far along and not do it, but I let a lot of time go by. Sorry for that, but I've been busy. Like I said, I'm out here in the real world, so I've been busy, and but we finally making it back, coming back around, and I got some stuff lined up for y'all. But this movie is so classic. You can reference a movie like this, you can reference a show like Boondocks, and the stuff that's in these movies is just what's constantly been happening every day, every month, year to year. Um, and they repeat themselves, situations and instances. A lot of it is habits, addictions, vices, you know, especially when you talk about the things that go on in the black community. Like when you separate yourself from the black community, it's like as a black person, particularly a black man, you come off as very renegade. They'll call you weird. Um, you stick out like a sore thumb. Even when you to yourself isolated, you still stick out because your movement and the things that you do um, are recognized. Like now, don't get it twisted. Usually, when you come off in a negative light, it's to younger people or the people that's caught up in general. People who are living a certain way, they're really trying to get things done. They recognize the value in you uh, along with your differences. And you'll get complimented on it, right? But the thing about it is, like, you don't have to see a movie like this to know your surrounding and to know how to stay away from traps. Like, I see this movie every day, to be honest with you. You can go from the dating scene to the conscious community, those two things, and you'll see this movie every day. Um, and and that's the crazy thing about it, right? And it's very sad, you know, like when you see the different color hair, that's what you're seeing. You've been seeing this when you see the sagging, when you see the dirty dreads, you know, when you see, or actually see all the weed smoking, or you see cars that's beside you in a stoplight, and you can smell the weed from their vehicle. It's you're seeing this constantly, um, and I'm glad how they showed how, from the beauty salon to the club to the chicken joint, chicken shack. I mean, the list goes on and on. The grape soda, like it's the sugar, the way that the black community consumes sugar, you know, no fruits, no vegetables, no alkaline water. Uh, it's just sugar and grease. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, and I guess you can make a case for like the style of dress, the emphasis on urban wear and jewelry. It's the madness, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I like a watch. I got a chain or two, but I don't really buy a lot of jewelry. I used to wear a lot of earrings. I stopped by earrings, and I don't have a lot of rings in general. You know, it's it's all there, man. It's all there for you to look at and for you to say, you know, Do I live a certain way that has too many addictions, vices, that I'm doing things that are pointless? Am I falling in with the group? Um, you know, am I really jumping over a cliff? Am I really doing that? Right. And this red pill community have you doing the same thing. Don't get it twisted. Uh, you'll be super chatting it up and cash apping somebody who's giving you straight garbage. You know, they'll tell you don't be a simp, but then they'll tell you you're gonna have to stay here in America. You can't passport, and you have to take a single mother at some point. And you have to take a woman with a high body count. Some dudes even tell you you're gonna have to share your woman, and still pay, still be a husband or a good boyfriend and fiance and pay bills and provide and protect. But you're gonna have to share your woman because you don't own your woman. So it's so much stuff to unpack, and it's very extreme in the black community, between the dating market and um, the conscious community making cases about systematic oppression and issues and stuff like that. But yet they don't do anything but just talk. Like everybody has followed the preacher. They have seen that I can get up on a podium, get a congregation, and I can get money just by talking to people versus actually doing something, versus actually creating nonprofits, businesses, forming new political, parties, uh, creating a voting block, a new a voting demographic, uh, getting back to having a culture and tradition within the community that requires family, requires loyalty, people sticking together, not doing a bunch of sleeping around. Um, so, and the movie normalized um, either being street, deviant behavior, accepting poverty, you know, just it just normalized it until the fact that, oh, you're being programmed or cloned. Then that's when it became a problem. Once you discover you're being programmed or cloned, had you would have not never discovered that, you would have kept on being the hoe, the pimp, or the hustler, right? And living in the hood. So it's it's the same thing, not just in the black community or in the hood. It's the same thing with America across the board right now. The programming has spread because the greed has went up and the need for more slaves has went up. So I encourage you guys to really observe your surrounding and look for what the majority of people do. What you see is most common amongst people. You know, I can really separate myself and slow the scene down and watch and just go through a checklist and like, oh yeah, most of them do this, most of them do that. There's a group there, there's a group there. And you'll be looking at what they're doing, especially if you've done stuff like that in the past and you got over it, you realized it was useless, pointless. And you just watch and then you'll be amazed too. Like when you see people your age, if you're up in age or older, that still has not broke free. Um, yeah, you'll be amazed at that. Well, I'm not gonna stay on this long. We know um, what the psychosis is, and we know what has been plaguing America as a whole, and it's was very specific to certain communities. We know this, but even when they put it in your face and they give you a movie, the movie is basically telling you what they do. And at this point, like if you don't do anything about it or say something, like then you're okay with it. So that's how they get, implied consent. Uh, by putting it in movies and letting you watching it and you thinking it's just entertainment. But really, this is what's been going on from day one. So it's your boy Zulu Gullah. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day.